Hello, welcome to English Hub. Ready to learn English in an interesting way? Great! Let's get started with an amazing story.
Hey everyone. Today we have an inspiring story of courage, resilience, and determination. We're going to talk about a girl who grew up in a tough situation with few opportunities, but she didn't let that stop her dreams. She dreamed of helping others, making a difference, and against all odds, she became a doctor. This is the story of a girl who, despite all the challenges, never gave up. She faced huge obstacles, but she always believed in her potential and the importance of her dream. And the most amazing part? She did it all without losing hope, always believing that the future could be brighter. If you believe that with effort and courage, it's possible to change our reality, this story is for you. Stay with us because you'll be moved, and who knows, maybe inspired to chase your own dreams. Let's get started.
Emma sat in front of her small house. The sun was rising, and the sky was orange and pink. It was quiet, and Emma liked the peace. She looked at her shoes. They were old and full of holes. Emma's family was poor, but they loved each other. Emma had a big dream. She wanted to be a doctor and help the people in her village. Her father came outside. He had a cup of tea in his hand. "Good morning, Emma. You're awake early," he said. "I like the morning," Emma said. "I think about my dream." Her father smiled. "Your dream is big, Emma. It will be hard, but you can do it. I believe in you." Emma felt happy when she heard that. She knew it would not be easy, but she promised herself she would try. Emma sat on the steps of her small, wooden house. The sun was rising, painting the sky with soft orange and pink hues. The early morning air felt cool on her skin. She took a deep breath and smiled slightly. This was her favorite time of day, quiet and full of hope. She glanced at her shoes, worn out from years of use. Her family didn't have much money, but they had love, and for Emma, that was enough to keep going. Her dream was big. She wanted to become a doctor. She wanted to help people, especially those in her little village who didn't have easy access to medical care. Emma's father, a kind man with tired eyes, stepped outside with a cup of tea in his hand. "You're up early again," he said softly. Emma nodded. "I like the quiet mornings. They help me think about my dream." Her father sat beside her. "Your dream is big, Emma. It will take hard work and sacrifice. But I believe in you." Hearing those words from her father gave Emma strength. She felt a spark of determination light up inside her. She would do everything she could to make her dream come true, even if the path was challenging. Emma worked hard every day. She helped her family and studied in the evening. She didn't have many books, so she read whatever she could find. Sometimes she used a small notebook to write important things. Her mother made food every day. Emma helped her cook. After dinner, Emma sat by the small fire and read her notebook. One day, a teacher came to the village. She was a kind woman, and she asked if anyone wanted to learn more. Emma was excited. She ran to the teacher and said, "I want to learn." The teacher smiled. "You are very brave, Emma. I will teach you. You can be a doctor someday." Emma couldn't believe it. She was so happy. This was the first step to make her dream come true. Emma looked out the window. It was a bright day, and she felt excited. Today is the day, she thought. Emma had always dreamed of being a doctor. She didn't have much money, and her family was simple. But Emma knew one thing for sure: she could make it if she worked hard. She put on her backpack and left her small house. The road to the university was long, but Emma didn't mind. Every step she took made her closer to her dream. One day, I will help people, she thought. The university was big and busy. Students hurried between buildings. Emma felt nervous. She had never been to a place like this. But she reminded herself, I belong here. I worked hard to get here. When Emma entered the classroom, she took a deep breath. She was ready. She had always been good at studying. Smiling, she sat down, eager to learn. Emma's first day was full of new things. She sat in a large classroom with other students. Some talked to each other, while others were on their phones. She was nervous but focused. The teacher, Dr. Smith, smiled. Welcome to our class. Today, we'll start learning about medicine. Emma smiled back, excited to begin. She had always wanted to be a doctor. Dr. Smith spoke, medicine is about helping people. It's hard work but rewarding. Emma listened closely. She knew becoming a doctor would take hard work, but she was ready. As class continued, Emma took notes. She wasn't just writing words, she was writing her dreams. Each note brought her closer to becoming a doctor. She thought, I can do this. Emma spent the next few months studying hard. Every day, she woke early to read. Sometimes, she studied with her classmates. They helped each other understand difficult lessons. One day, after a long study session, her friend Sarah said, "You're really smart. You'll be a great doctor one day." Emma smiled. Thank you. I study a lot. It's not easy. Emma felt proud, but she knew the road to becoming a doctor was long. Sometimes she felt tired, but she remembered why she started, to help people and save lives. One night, Emma was exhausted, studying for an important exam. The words were blurry, but she didn't stop. I will finish this. I will be a doctor, she thought, pushing through. As Emma continued her studies, her confidence grew. Her hard work paid off. Her grades improved, and her teachers were proud. But she knew the journey wasn't over. One day, Emma got exciting news. She was selected for a special program at a hospital. It would give her the chance to work with patients and learn more about being a doctor. When the day arrived, Emma wore her white coat for the first time. Nervous but proud, she met doctors, nurses, and patients. She loved the busy hospital, learning something new every day. On her first day, Emma worked with Dr. Johnson, who taught her how to care for patients. "You're doing great," Dr. Johnson said. "Keep going. You'll be a great doctor." Emma smiled. She was learning so much. This was just the beginning of her journey. Weeks passed, and Emma spent more time at the hospital, practicing and asking many questions. One day, Emma was asked to help with a big surgery. She was nervous but ready. She watched closely as Dr. Johnson explained each step, taking notes and asking questions. As the surgery continued, Emma noticed how calm everyone was. She learned that being a doctor wasn't just about medical knowledge, but also about kindness and understanding. After the surgery, Dr. Johnson asked, "How do you feel?" Emma said, "I feel proud. I want to help people like you do." Dr. Johnson smiled. "You will. You're already on your way." Emma's confidence grew. She realized being a doctor was hard but rewarding. She was determined to keep going, no matter how tough it got. Months passed, and Emma became skilled at her work. She helped with surgeries, gave advice, and started to make a real difference in patients' lives. She was proud of how far she'd come. One day, Emma got a message from Sarah, her old friend. Sarah invited her to visit in the city. Excited, Emma took the weekend off and traveled to see her friend. At Sarah's apartment, they talked for hours. They laughed about childhood memories and shared their dreams. Emma was happy to reconnect with her friend. As they sat together, Sarah said, "You always wanted to help people. Now you're doing it. I'm so proud of you." Emma smiled. "Thank you, Sarah. I couldn't have done it without support." That weekend, Emma realized how far she had come. She was no longer the shy girl afraid of challenges. She was a confident woman, ready to keep helping others. The next day, Emma returned to the hospital. Refreshed after her weekend with Sarah, she noticed a new patient in the emergency room, a young boy with a broken arm. "Hi there," Emma said with a smile. "I'm Dr. Emma. Can you tell me what happened?" The boy, scared, explained, "I fell off my bike." Emma calmly helped him feel at ease. That night, Emma went home and thought about the boy. She remembered how scared he was, but how she was able to make him feel better. It made her realize that being a doctor was not just about knowing medicine. It was also about being kind, listening, and making people feel safe. The next day, Emma met with her team. They talked about the patients and discussed ways to improve their care. Emma always asked questions. She was learning a lot from her colleagues and trying to become a better doctor every day. One of her colleagues, Dr. Harris, noticed how hard Emma was working. "You're doing a great job, Emma," he said. "I can see you've really grown since you started." Emma smiled. "Thank you, Dr. Harris. I still have a lot to learn, but I'm doing my best." Later that afternoon, Emma had a meeting with her mentor, Dr. Peterson. Dr. Peterson was a very experienced doctor who had been working in the hospital for many years. He had helped Emma a lot since she first arrived. "You've made so much progress, Emma," Dr. Peterson said. "You've learned a lot. You're ready for more challenges." Emma felt proud. "Thank you, Dr. Peterson. I'm excited to keep learning. There's always something new in medicine, right?" "Exactly," Dr. Peterson replied with a smile. "And the most important thing is to never stop learning. Medicine changes every day, and we have to change with it." Emma nodded. "I understand. I will keep working hard to be the best doctor I can be." A few weeks later, Emma was given a very special case. A young girl named Lily was in the hospital after a serious accident. She was very scared and hurt. Emma knew that this would be one of the most difficult cases she had worked on so far. When Emma walked into Lily's room, the young girl looked up at her with big eyes. "Are you going to help me?" Lily asked, her voice trembling. Emma smiled softly and sat next to her. "Yes, I am here to help you, Lily. You're going to be okay." Lily looked at her with hope. "Thank you." Emma explained everything that was happening and what the doctors were going to do. She made sure Lily felt calm and safe. It was important to Emma that her patients understood everything. She knew that understanding what was happening made people feel better. The next few days were tough. Lily's condition was very serious, but Emma stayed with her, talking to her and checking on her progress every day. Emma made sure to listen to Lily's fears and concerns. This helped Lily feel less afraid. After a few days, Lily began to improve. She was still in pain, but she felt stronger. Emma was very happy to see her getting better. It made Emma feel proud of her work and her ability to help people. As Emma continued her work in the hospital, she learned more every day. She became more confident, but she never lost her kindness. One day, Emma was called into the hospital's emergency room. There was a big accident nearby, and many people were hurt. When Emma entered the ER, she saw people everywhere. Some were sitting on chairs, others were lying on beds. The room was full of doctors and nurses, all working quickly. Emma knew that she needed to stay calm. She took a deep breath and started to help. She worked with her team to treat the injured people. Some had broken bones, and others had small cuts. Emma was busy, but she didn't forget to talk to every patient. "You're going to be okay," she said to one patient, holding his hand. She smiled to make him feel better. After many hours, the emergency room was calm again. Emma was tired, but she felt proud. She had helped many people that day. It wasn't always easy, but Emma knew that being a doctor meant doing hard things to help others. That night, after finishing her shift, Emma sat on a bench outside the hospital. She looked up at the stars. She remembered the people she had helped. "I'm doing the right thing," she said to herself. The next day, Emma went back to the hospital. She was ready for a new day, but this day would be very different. The hospital was busy, and there was a meeting for all the doctors. Emma was excited because she had worked hard and learned a lot, and now it was time to share her thoughts. In the meeting room, all the doctors were sitting together. The head doctor stood up. He was tall and serious. He began to speak. "We need to talk about the new treatment plan," he said. "Emma, do you want to share your ideas with us?" Emma felt a little nervous. She had never spoken in front of so many doctors before. But she remembered how she helped the patients the day before and how strong she had felt. "Yes, I have some ideas," she said. She stood up and started to talk. She explained her ideas about how to treat certain patients. She spoke clearly, using simple words. All the doctors listened carefully. When she finished, the head doctor smiled. "Thank you, Emma. These are very good ideas." Emma felt proud. She had shared her ideas, and they were useful. She knew that every little step she took was helping her grow. A few weeks later, Emma had become an important part of the team at the hospital. She was no longer just a student. She was a doctor, helping patients every day. People started to notice her hard work and kindness. One day, Emma was walking through the hospital when she saw a little boy in the hallway. He looked scared and confused. His mother was sitting next to him, looking worried. Emma walked over to them with a smile. "Hello, I'm Dr. Emma. How are you feeling today?" she asked gently. Emma was ready for this challenge. She quickly put on her gloves and walked to the delivery room. Inside, the woman was breathing hard, and her husband was holding her hand. The nurse was already there, ready to help. "Dr. Emma, we need you here," the nurse said. "The baby is coming." Emma took a deep breath. She had studied everything about childbirth, but this was her first time helping in a real delivery. She stood next to the mother and gave her encouraging words. "You're doing great," she said. "You're almost there." The mother looked at Emma and nodded. She was tired, but she trusted Emma's calm voice. After a few minutes, the baby was born. It was a boy, small but healthy. Emma helped clean him up and placed him in his mother's arms. The couple looked at their son with tears in their eyes. "Thank you so much, Dr. Emma," the father said. "You were amazing." Emma smiled. "It was my pleasure," she said. Congratulations to both of you. After the delivery, Emma walked out of the room with a big smile on her face. She felt proud. It was her first birth, and everything had gone perfectly. But she knew that this was just the beginning.